Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the FYNI Job Nursing podcast. We're so excited to have you join us in this new edition. We hope you've been enjoying all the previous editions, and today I trust that you would enjoy this as well. Before I go on, I want to encourage you to please subscribe, to please like and share the podcast, and make sure to invite your friends to watch this as well. All right. As we start this podcast, I want you to understand that the greatest thing about people are in their stories. And if you have taken time to listen to the stories of people, then you will know their path to greatness. And today we'll be hearing the story of one of us who's been doing great and doing very well in this field of nursing practice. I want to welcome to the stage and to this podcast, Nurse Fadodun Oluwadamilola. Thank you for joining me, Nurse Fadodun.
Thank you for having me, Damilare. So good to be here. I'm excited.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. From time to time, we are bringing people to share their stories of how they have come into the nursing profession and what their journey has been like. For you, Nurse Fadodun, I've known you for a few years working with you in FYNI. I've known you to be a volunteer with FYNI. I've known you to work with some other organizations. But before I go on to talking about what I know about you, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay, thank you so much. A big shout out to our audience. Thank you very much. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Oluwadamilola Agnes Fadodun. I like to put the Agnes in there because I want it to be full. And know that I don't mind, but I don't even know the meaning. So I am, first of all, a child of God. I am a nurse by profession. I'll describe myself as someone who's very resilient, a jovial person. I like people that have good sense of humor because I also like to crack jokes a lot. I also am a diligent person. What else? I'm a nurse here. I live in Canada. I live in Alberta, to be precise. I work here as a registered nurse. I'm also a licensed registered nurse with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria and the Texas Board of Nursing in the US. I am the General Secretary of Focusing on Young Nurses Initiative, and we can also, I wear many caps.
That's so impressive. Knowing that you're registered with Nigeria, registered in Canada, and registered in the US. But I'm not going to go into that just now. Let's start from the beginning. I believe you started your nursing journey from Nigeria.
Okay.
What year was that? When did you get registered to practice as a nurse in Nigeria? When was that? And where were you? And where did you train? Let's see if we have somebody in the comment section who will also be from your alma mater.
Oh yes, of course. I'm always proud of my school, my alma. Okay. Let me, because I'm a jovial person, I don't want to turn this to comedy. All right. So yes, I started my nursing journey in 2009. I started as a very young, naive. I wanted to be a medical doctor initially because, when they say you're smart, you're this, and because I love to nurture, I have a nurturing spirit. Mm-hmm. So I know when I was younger, people used to come to my house as a child because I was in Red Cross and I would treat their wounds, I need to get well, and then I got out of secondary school and my uncle just told me that I should pick up a nursing form at the University College Hospital, Ibadan, the School of Nursing. There was a dilemma between going to the university or going to School of Nursing because the mentality, we had then and the information my parents had was that if you go to School of Nursing, you become a better nurse. If you go to university, you just know theory. So, but because when they asked me the question, I wanted to be nursing. And I told myself, okay, I would give you what it takes and start from the scratch. So it wasn't because I wasn't smart or intelligent. That's why I went to School of Nursing first. But that's the misconception we have in Nigeria, that School of Nursing is only for people who probably jam them, multiple times. And they don't have a choice but to just pick up School of Nursing form. So I started my journey from the School of Nursing, University College Hospital, Ibadan, yes, and I'm proud of that school. We were really, really, they helped the lecturers. They helped us to be grounded, and I can beat my chest that my lecturers were, and are still, the very best, And then after that, because of my I'm a very ambitious fellow, and I love academics a lot. I decided I was not going to stop there. I was going to continue at the university level, and then I picked up the direct entry form, which now, I think that was in 2013, and I got into University of Ibadan 2014 because there was a long strike, 6 months after strike. So eventually I resumed in 2014, and then I journeyed through for 4 years. I finished 2018, and then I went for service. I worked during that service year at Osun State University Health Services, with Osun State University Health Services rather, in Okuku. I worked in Okuku campus, and then after that, I started my journey to Canada in 2019, and I've been in Canada since 2019.
Thank you very much. I said before you go on with the Canada part of the story, can we just backtrack a little bit? So you talked about some significant moments you had while you were in UCH, that's the School of Nursing in UCH. Can you remember one or two lecturers who really made a significant impact in your life? This is why I'm asking that question. So a lot of people, a lot of people, let me finish this thought. A lot of people through nursing school always have very terrible experiences about their lecture. And there are very few people who feel that their lecturers made any significant impact in their life. But for you to say this, I'm thinking maybe your story is different. So what was it like for you?
I first of all want to say a big thank you. I use this platform to say a big thank you to all the lecturers that have taught me over the years, both in School of Nursing, University College Hospital, the University of Ibadan, and my university here in Canada that I finished from last year. For me, journeying through UCH, yes, I quite agree that some people, some lecturers were not so nice, and I also agree that some lecturers were very nice. However, for me personally, I have a principle that that's helped me through the years with my lecturers. Irrespective of how bad they say a lecturer is, I try my best to be, to give my best, to that, lecturer in terms of the expectations, when you're able to meet the lecturer's expectations, in terms of diligence, in terms of, okay, this is what I want in a student. I study my lecturers a lot. I think that's the advantage I had in nursing school. I didn't have problem with any lecturer. I would say it here 100%. I still maintain cordial relationship with some of my lecturers, even in School of Nursing. I graduated since when, and I still keep in touch with them. Some people had it tough, probably because of some other reasons that I do not know about. But for me, I did not have it tough in School of Nursing. And it would be unfair to mention some lecturers' name because to me, my lecturers almost, let me say, 95% of them, for me, I had no problem with my lecturers. If I want to mention it, maybe the likes of Mrs. Adeleke, I would never forget her because she was my supervisor in School of Nursing, University College Hospital. She mentored me and she gave me a good, orientation about nursing. I didn't have a bad supervisor-supervisor relationship. So my relationship with my supervisor at the University of Ibadan even got better because I had a good foundation in terms of how to relate with my supervisor and vice versa. So Mrs. Adeleke is someone that I can't forget in my life because I was at my prime, just starting, in nursing, and she really helped me then. The likes of Dr. Mrs. Brown, even till date, we still keep in touch. The likes of Mrs. Nwachiku, the likes of Mr. Makinde, the likes of, yes, I know some people talk about Mr. Odi as top, but to me, Mr. Odi was like, she treated me well. I remember one day in class, she asked some people to stand up and answer questions. She threw the questions at us, but she was calling each person to stand up, and then almost everybody in class she had called. But when she got to me, she skipped me. We skipped two of us initially, but after she had asked everybody, she came back to one of the, one of us that she skipped. And then I was thinking I was really the last person. She didn't call me because I don't know if she knew that I was going to answer it well. Maybe she had the other this girl. Don't let me bother. She's going to, because when she talks in class, I think there were times we will brainstorm together. She will say, okay, so why this? I'm thinking again, giving answers. So why this? I'm thinking again. She was like, okay, I don't know. And then people came to me, what did you use? Did you use that? She never, for me, Miss Awodia, like, she helped me to be assertive. I learned that assertiveness from her, to know what I know and know it at my fingertips. I didn't relate with fear. No, when I was really no. So till days when I see her, she would ask me questions. That was before I left Nigeria. Rather, she, asked me. She was director of nursing, if I'm correct, director of education, nursing education, and then she would ask me questions at my valedictorian service, my induction rather at the University of Ibadan. She was there, and I saw her smile. That I knew you could do it. I saw Mr. Markinde too. That smile of I'm proud of this product that I was able to nurture. I'm a part of our journey. So for me, all my lecturers were cool. Let me use that word cool at the University College of. Yes, I know that some people. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
okay, I don't know if I'm talking too fast. Slow me down if I am. Please and thank you.
Yeah. I think I'm happy you shared this perspective, and I think largely it's all about perspective again. One thing I've noticed is people say, oh, lecturers are bad, but a lot of times they just have something they're expecting from you. And a lot of times as well, they are so passionate about seeing you better. So when they make, or when they put some level of pressure on us, it's just with the mind of seeing that these students are really better. And
exactly.
Sometimes I don't want to really say they are all bad. Even sometimes when we may be comfortable with the way they approach it, yes. But let's leave that, because that's quite a lot of things.
I'll make a Mr. Ojo, Mrs. Olani, Mrs. Majolagbe, like we had good lecturers. Let me just say. Yeah.
Let me also ask this, and this is I'm going to ask you to respond to this in just one breath. Okay. So now, reflecting on the decision you made, do you think the quality of education you got as a university student in University of Ibadan is it better than that of the School of Nursing you attended? Thankfully, you attended the School of Nursing in UCH and the university. How would you compare the two? And would you say one is better than the other? Or what's your perspective of
it? That's a very, very good question. And I think I will say that both have their pros and cons. So, for instance, in School of Nursing, and I don't think the quality is also like different in a way. However, it depends on the School of Nursing you also go to, because University College Hospital is grounded. You know how big UCH is, so and we had quality lecturers. So you can't stay for probably another School of Nursing that I don't even know where the name. If you mention it, I can't even comprehend it. And University of Ibadan is also a very good school. So there are two places that you're asking me to compare. They are like top notch, right? But in terms of the content, now I think probably a quality of what you're getting. For School of Nursing, maybe in terms of practicums, we spend more time in the units, and at times, even when nurses are on strike, they take us to go out, like you just go, they send us to the unit to go and work, free service, which kind of builds you up. You are more assertive, you can think critically, there's no micromanagement in any way. But when you talk about maybe university, the practicums might not be a lot, because the university has a calendar, right? Which, might not really, really 100% suit that nursing student that really wants to spend more time, in the clinical setting. But now I think the buffer is the internship. So the internship is going to be that buffer. That's bridging the gap between that theory and practice. So both they have their pros and cons. So if you focus more on the good part, you might say, oh, university is all good and then School of Nursing is bad. But if you now reconsider and see the benefits of going to School of Nursing, then you say, oh, actually it's not bad. But the only aspect that I know people might have an issue with, and that kind of, maybe that can be my only regret, is time. Time. Because I spent 3 years plus in School of Nursing. I spent 4 years at the university. That's 7 years studying nursing. Who did I kill? It's not for my resilience and the fact that I know God put me in nursing, and probably because of the future, where God is taking us to, I would have, been like, because now I'm like, that was a lot of years, just studying nursing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could have been done
Absolutely.
within a short time. Yeah. So that's my own issue with School of Nursing.
Well, if I wanted to take this further, I've always been of the opinion that, because I went straight into the university, and I have always argued with everybody who cares to listen that, see, the notion that the university program is less of practical is not true. Especially because for me, my school gave us very, very, very intense exposure to practicals from second year, and that's the very first year in nursing school. We started going to the hospital, and we never stopped going till the final year. So I feel like it's a lot for me to keep going from 200 to 500 level, and someone said 4 straight years. It's not supposed to amount to what someone else did for 3 years. I mean, but that's an argument we should leave aside, because thankfully,
but you can spend 3 months in a unit. 3 months. The School of Nursing.
It's the same thing we had as university students too.
3 months.
Let me say, what makes a difference could be the school you attended, because my school out there, well, we started having concentrated posting. From the first semester 200 level. At the end of the first semester, we went 3 months stretch in the hospital. That was how it was for us as 200 level students. That was how it was, and we kept on doing something like that: 200, 300, 400, 500 level. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something on the surface. But that's by the way. Anyway, I don't want us to keep stretching that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's now look at. You left Nigeria. Are you one of those who lost passion, or who lost? Because a lot of people feel like, Nigeria, I don't think there's any good thing that can come out of Nigeria again. Let me just jump and escape from my life. What prompted the move?
Wow, thank you very much. For me, I think for what prompted my move, I am a faith-based person. Like I said, when I introduced myself, I'm a child of God. And there are things that that is just destiny. Like it's just a part of your journey to where God is taking you to. So for me, it was not the japa. I used to say it. And probably that's what has kept me going, because it's not easy at the other side. People think once you leave Nigeria, it becomes easier. The grass is greener. No, it's until you get there. So I know that this guy all brown, like it's brown. So no. For me, it was something divine. I knew it was time. I'd wanted to go since high school when I finished secondary school, but I feel when God's hand is upon you. Sorry. I'm so sorry, but this has to be part of the journey. When you know that there's a supreme, person, that's God, who has the plan of your hands in his hands, you will know that, okay, you just have to do this. I remember after high school, I used to go and browse. I used to go to cafe to browse about the country I'm in right now. I've known since that time. I just do not know how. And when I tried to go other routes, God did not allow it to happen, because I wanted to go to South Africa, I wanted to go to Cyprus, many options. I wanted to go to Ghana. I would travel to Ghana to check out schools, but he didn't allow it to happen. But I feel my stay after high school was just for grooming, to have some character, in me, resilience, diligence, things that are very vital to this season I'm in right now, and I do not regret it. So mine was not the jackpot syndrome. Mine was the thirst, aside from divine, also the thirst for excellence. Nigeria we have excellent institutions, like superb, but you want to know what is happening out there. You want to know how you can have another mindset, other perspectives to balance what you know. you can't just be one-sided. You're a global person, right? So you need to know how do they do things in this setting? How can it culminate to my own worldview, to build your own worldview? Because if you are in Nigeria, just see things from one side, except if you have friends that are very exposed, they can let you know, oh, this is how. So here I'm seeing another life, and I appreciate the experience because I'm merging both worlds together, to now inform and serve as the propelling force to, where I'm headed. So mine was not the Japa syndrome. I'd always known that I was going to travel. I just did not know when. I kept trying after high school. I tried after School of Nursing, but God didn't permit me and I thank God because the stress is a lot. Then after uni, it was time. So, and it happened. Yes. I don't know if that answered your question.
All glory to God. All glory to God. Yeah. You are going all spiritual on me, and I have to take it in that way.
Oh no, because for me that was it. So when it was for me, that was it. It wasn't a dark mindset. Yes, I wanted something more too. I wanted, like, what's going on out there? Like, you are within the four walls of Nigeria. There's something outside. What's going on? I want to know. I want to see. And then I lost out.
That makes a lot of sense because, like they say, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
It's inevitable.
For me, I've always been of this strong opinion that don't just move because people are moving. Find a purpose for it. If you can find why you're going, everything is set to do, regardless of whether 1 million people are on that same path. Once you can define your own purpose, it makes a lot of difference for you, and that's the more reason why I have to help somebody listening to this to understand that it's more about why you want to do it, much more than what are they doing or what's involved just now. So let's move forward a little bit. You came into the Western world, that's into Canada now, to study for your master's. A lot of people are out there who have just finished their first degree, who are looking to start the master's degree or as well. I know that the Nigerian system is not very elaborate when it comes to options for master's degree. Was that why you left, or what part of the excellent structure in the Western world made you move?
Okay.
I understand it's aspiring for, but what part of it made you move? Was it because there is no specialization in Nigeria that fits into what you wanted, or you just felt whatever Nigeria I still need to see, even if it is what I can get in Nigeria, I need to get it outside. What was it like for
you? That's a very deep question. Okay, so aside from the initial things, like I said earlier, for me, you hear stories, probably because I was also exposed, internet-wise, you see how nursing is. So for example, I remember when I was in UI and we were asked to, have a presentation on some topics, and when I began researching, to gather information to help with my presentation, I saw advanced things. I'm like, what? I've never seen this in UCH before. Like, in fact, when I was moving the stuff in class, people were looking at me like, because I had to immerse myself in it. I was seeing myself in that, like all the things I saw during my research. I imagined myself delivering in those kind of settings. So I'm like, no, that's the excellence part of Nigeria. We are still developing. Let's be truthful. We are still developing. Some nations, by reason of good political system and so many things, factors, they've been able to have a structured system that works, right? So there's some things, even if you go to rural areas here in Canada, you still find some things that a teaching hospital, I'm so sorry to say, back home in Nigeria, they do not have. So my research, I call myself a researcher too, during my undergrad, further reinforced the need to also know what is going on at the other side, because I'm a thinking person, right? I'm like, okay, so what is this? So this is done here, so this can be done this way. Oh my, then I need to know how these things are done. So, and to be honest, in Nigeria we have limited options. in all honesty, in terms of, nursing specialties. Even I'm someone that, by reason of my supervisor's mentorship, my Nigerian supervisor, Provost Award, she helped me to, love oncology, oncology nursing, and my research, was focused on that. And my research even was one of the things that also told me, no, I am going out of Nigeria too. I'm just adding more information to the initial things I said earlier, because the topic I did was more like a PhD topic, but she encouraged me. In fact, we had to invite another lecturer that did it at a PhD level in UI, to offer insights, to guide me. And during the course of my research, I was just having questions. Why are we not having this? Why is cervical cancer killing people when we have a preventive healthcare system? They said there's something called pap smear. Why don't we have? And then, questions leading to questions. And I feel those are the things that God used to also, put interest inside it, like something that, passion that, and I began to research, and I saw, these countries in advanced world, they've gone far. And if you want to offer substance in a nation that is still developing, you have to step out and know those people that are working, what is working well for them. Go into the society and then get the information, the knowledge, the experience, the exposure that you need to now offer substance, to, the other side. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I feel that excellent thing that I saw, to answer your question, was born out of, things that I was exposed to even in Nigeria. I knew that we don't have oncology nursing, like specialties, even back home. And I realized, even I did something related to that as a research too, my undergrad level oncology nursing education in Nigeria. And I realized, no, we are still far behind. So those are the things that told me that, like, that passion. Yeah, sorry, I'm even passionate. You have to see my face. Don't let me go into that. I'll just keep talking. Yeah.
Let's just build up on that line of thought. So, did you now get an oncology master's, oncology nursing in your master's degree, or how did it go for you now that you've got this degree?
So that was on the table for me to explore when I was, considering what specialty I was going to have my master's in, and I had to seek counsel and all. But during the course of doing that, there's a way life is. Your mind becomes broader, and then you begin to have more ideas coming into your mind. So yes, that was on the table. But during the course of that, I observed some other things, and I wanted to go into them that would still help that oncology, aspect or oncology interest. But I eventually had to go for a general master's, more like a generic master's of science in nursing. Yes, so I did my Master of Science in research. Yes, so it was more like a thesis based. So the way Canada runs their education is very different from Nigeria. So there's thesis, there's course based, then under thesis, you can diversify or just, depending on the school. But for me, I did eventually do oncology nursing at master's level because I wasn't licensed to practice here. So some of their specialty-based programs require you having your license because you have to go for practicums or probably do some other things that I do not know about that will require you having your license. So I had to go for what I could, fit into to help me if I want to go in the future now into something else. I can easily say, okay, I want to go do oncology specialty, probably certification. So a Master of Science in Nursing is broader. It's not streamlined. I don't know how best to explain it. But my research was in oncology.